This is Build in Isolation, and we've spoken to actresses, actors, directors, writers, musicians, but today, for the first time, we are talking to a professional stunt person, and not just any professional stunt person, one of the best in the world. I am talking about Renae Moneymaker. How are you doing, Renae?
Hi, wow, what an introduction and what a lot to live up to.
I know, I set the bar pretty high. Look, firstly, I'm going to jump straight in there and say, I'm just a huge fan of your work. And only this week, after I binge watched a lot of your films, did I realize, wow, this Renae character is quite a busy lady. Now, look, is it funny when your job as a professional stunt person, like the better that you do your job, the harder it is for us as an audience to recognize that it's actually you? Is that strange?
Yeah, I mean, that's also part of the goal is you want to make it very seamless. You know, you want to trick them. We're trying to trick you.
Yeah. Now, I did just download Disney Plus and went through so many of your films: Captain Marvel, Captain Avengers, Endgame, Ant and the Wasp. Like, the list is so incredibly long. Are there any movies that really stand out for you as your favorite film experiences as a stuntwoman?
Sure, yeah, great question. Recently, I did The Birds of Prey, doubling Margot Robbie, and that was definitely one of the highlights of my career. Not only working with her, but just kind of the caliber of work I got to do. My background is gymnastics, and I really got to incorporate a lot of those kinds of skills into her choreography and kind of her weird movements and, you know, her kind of like tricks and stuff.
I mean, because that's where it all started, isn't it? With that film, Make It or Break It. That was a gymnastics film, right?
You did do your homework.
Occasionally. So, I mean, a gymnastics film, that was, I mean, how long ago was that? That was a film that your sister got you to do?
See, that was back in 2009 was the year I started. I started on that gymnastics show, Make It or Break It. And it was that was definitely the start of my career. I didn't know I wanted to be a stunt woman until I worked on that show. It kind of worked a little backwards for me. My older sister's a stunt woman, and she had been in the business a bit before me, and I never really thought of myself doing that. And then as I was finishing my gymnastics career, that show had just gotten picked up. The pilot just got picked up. And so they were looking for girls to work on it. And I went to an audition and I matched one of the girls. I seamlessly got onto that show, not even knowing that was going to be my life's work. It didn't take long though. I was on, I think, my third time working. I called my sister and I was like, I want to be a stunt woman. What do I do?
Was it a particular stunt? Was it a feeling? Was it just being on set? What was it that gripped you and made you realize that being a stunt woman is what you wanted to do?
So let's see, probably a couple parts to this answer for you. I kind of right away fell in love with the process of being on a set and making a film. And if you've ever been on a film set, I just remember being shocked at how many people there were and how everyone had a job, and everyone, you know, there's times where people are sitting down resting, and then you switch places and they're setting up cords and lights and cameras and, you know, all these things. So I fell in love with the process very early on. And then also too, I spent my entire life up to that point as a gymnast, as a performer. And it was something that I could dive into athletically, performance wise, and it just really helped fill that like missing piece for me. And so I kind of transitioned really well into that because I was, you know, used to working really hard and, you know, putting the time in and all that.
I mean, because you mentioned your sister Heidi, she is obviously a prolific stunt woman. How long had she been doing stunts for, and how long had she tried to get you involved into doing stunts before you actually did it?
So my sister, she's amazing, and she's not pushy at all. I think she asked me one time, probably when I was maybe like a sophomore in college, and she had been in the business, I think, about 6 years ahead of me. So she was in the business and starting to get established and doing really well. And she asked me, she's like, hey, you know, do you think you have any interest in doing this? I think, you're a great height, you're leading actress height, have your gymnastics background and all this. And I was kind of like, I don't know. I think I want to go to dentist school.
Well, I was about to say, you do have lovely teeth. I also have this like really wild piece of imagery in my head of you and your sister Heidi as teenagers having fights and like just throwing each other through glass windows and setting fire to the kitchen. Did you get extreme when you guys were young?
I wish that I could say that we did, because that sounds way more fun. But no, so we're actually 9 years apart, and there's a bunch of siblings in between. And Heidi, still to this day, is like my nicest sister. We never fought. I'm not really sure if she fought with anyone. Maybe like the sisters she's closer to, but we're 9 years apart. So like she was so much older than me that, my brother that was 5 years older than me and my sister that was 3 years older than me, they were the ones picking on me, and those were the ones I was wrestling with, and my brother was farting on my head, and stuff like that.
I mean, you do say that, but if my research is correct, and I could be wrong, I'm just going to throw it out there. Didn't you kill your sister in a movie?
You are so great. This is fact. This happened.
It actually happened? Okay. I didn't want to throw out something.
Straight in.
What? Explain.
Okay, so I'm playing this character, Katniss Everdeen. So my weapon of choice is a bow and arrow, right? Yeah, so my sister's doubling Julianne Moore. And in the second Mockingjay film, she goes to execute. Sorry, I forgot. She goes to execute, and at the last minute turns and shoots an arrow straight through the heart of Julianne Moore. And my sister doubled her, so I got to shoot her in the heart.
What was that like afterwards? Did you have to like go, sorry sis?
Oh no, we loved it.
With a bow.
We loved it.
Well, I mean, that movie ended up being a small success around the world. So everyone now knows you as a callous, merciless, murdering sister murderer. But I want to move on to some of your other films because I mean,
she's tough.
She can handle it.
Take a punch.
If we look closely behind you, we can actually see a little poster up there above your head. Is that an Ant and the Wasp poster?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Good eyes. Can I move my screen?
Yeah, we can see it. We can. There we go. Where did you get that? Where'd you get that poster?
A crew gift. They sent after filming of Ant-Man and the Wasp. And actually, over here, I actually have a picture of me and my sister, her dressed as Julianne Moore and me as Katniss from the scene you're talking about. But
oh my gosh. Okay, so this might be a total pain, but can you take it off the wall and show us? Because that would be so cool. I'm so glad that you're not like in your pajama pants or anything.
No, I'm in my yoga pants. Good thing I was like, the interview is gonna be way stuff. There's no way they're gonna make me get up and do something, right? All right.
Look, whoa. That's it. Isn't that incredible?
Claire, okay? Here we go.
And look, it's like, yeah, we gotcha. And that was the scene that we were discussing. Oh, wow. That's a big kick.
My sister, a shot from a short film we did.
Fantastic.
I'm just going to do a little around the world here.
Yeah, please. This is the most exciting thing to happen in a Zoom interview, I think.
This is me and Rila Fukuyama from The Wolverine. This is me and Ronda Rousey from Fast 7.
Whoa.
Oh gosh, I lost myself here. It's hard to see through the photos. The behind the scenes shot from Mockingjay.
Wow.
Another behind the scenes from Mockingjay. And then, let's see here. This is a photo from Born Legacy with our actors and our stunt doubles. Doubling Rachel Weisz, Rachel Weisz, Rachel Weisz.
Oh, the Ant-Man.
Here's a shot of me and Ant-Man. It's actually Ant-Man's stunt double. And then here is a stunt group shot from Mockingjay.
It's fantastic.
And then...
Mystique. Is that you?
Yeah, that's me in the double for Beast and the double for Magneto.
Oh my gosh. What an exciting little tour we just had. This is probably the most exciting visual tour we've had in someone's house. Thank you for showing us that. I mean, well, while we're talking, those movies, particularly Mystique, one thing that Mystique is renowned for is that she's incredibly flexible, hyper flexible, and she's a brutal fighter because of her bendiness. Was that legitimately you doing those big wide splits and high kicks and things like that in the film?
Yes, I think there's probably a combination of me and Jennifer doing that stuff, but definitely the flipping stuff and some of the kind of body takedown stuff, that was me.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that if we look at your stunts, even if we were to watch your stunt reel, a lot of your kind of skills seem to be based in not just gymnastics, but almost a free running style. Would you agree?
Yeah, that is correct. We train in martial arts. I still keep up my acrobatic skills, so flipping, also doing, it's called tricking. It's like a martial arts kind of backyard gymnastics. It's a lot better for film because it doesn't look like gymnastics has a very distinguished look, and you can't usually use that all the time. Yeah, we do that. We trying to learn, basics in free running, parkour, all that stuff really plays into everything. And then also too, a lot of judo, jiu-jitsu, aikido moves as well.
I mean, when we talk to actors and actresses, they often say that some of the favorite scenes that they've done in films are often the ones that are the most difficult for them, or the ones that they put the most effort and hard work into. Do you have a particular scene from a movie that you are the most fond of, the most happy with?
Well, right off the bat, I'm reminded of our reshoots for Birds of Prey. That was the most intense month of my life, probably. That was actually right before I met Emma.
Emma is, of course, my producer. So tell me about it. What made Birds of Prey so special?
Yeah, so we just did so much action compacted into 14 days of shooting, 14 actual days of shooting. So we did, if you recall the movie, we did the police station fight, we did the jail cell fight, we did the evidence room fight, we did all of that. Also, we did most of the car chase where she's on the roller skates, all of that, all crammed into one. And I'm wondering if there's one other part I'm forgetting, but we basically did months of what you would do on a film crammed into 2 weeks of shooting. And I was also coming off of a full year of just kind of going back to back to back to back. So I was kind of like at my mark of like, okay, I need to take a break soon. But they're like, okay, but before you do, we need to do this. So not only that, the makeup was a 3-hour makeup job to get into the full Harley Quinn thing. So, and then a 45 minutes to get out. So you're tacking on 4 hours on top of your work day every single day. So long hours back to back to back.
So I've been led to believe that Margot was actually quite keen to do stunts as well. What was that like, working with someone like Margot Robbie, our Margot Robbie?
Margot is one of the most, not only talented in her field of acting, she's so incredibly great at performing physically. I was so impressed by her. You could show her something, you could demonstrate something once, let her try it 3 times, and then she's got it in the bag. And this is not, sometimes we're doing really awkward stuff like that in the jail cell scene where she's like sliding on her knees and spinning around and all this stuff. You know, sometimes you have to learn stuff on the fly, and it can be very difficult doing those things. And she always blew us away how quickly she could learn things and how good she could do them.
It's funny. It's like, I don't know Margot, but I'm like, oh, I'm so proud of our Aussie Sheila. Yeah, good on you, Margs. She knows how to do a stunt.
Yeah, she's so great. Also, she was really great at the roller skating. Yeah, they had another roller skating double, like a professional roller derby girl, to do some of the hairy roller skating, some of the bigger rigs that were really dangerous. But she was really good at the skating. Like, they could do a lot with her.
Yeah, look, we all know how to roller skate down here. We learn it at school. Really important. If you come down under, it's what we every day, 24/7.
Really?
Sure. When you come down under, we'll go for a fruity boot. It'll be lots of fun. Now, here's an interesting question. It might be a little bit strange. Humans, as individuals, have their own unique biomechanics, you know, the way they walk, the way they move. Do stunt people like you study humans, their subjects that they're about to play in a movie, so that they can actually lock down that role perfectly?
Absolutely. Especially if you're in a position where you're doubling an actor or an actress. I think that is a huge aspect to becoming the character. And what I do is, from the moment I meet them, I'm studying their body, how they move, how they walk, maybe how they're doing some of their action. And then I kind of don't think too much about it. And I kind of just let some of those mannerisms creep into my movements. Or when we're thinking of choreography or action for them, I'm thinking of that. And there's a lot of times on a film where, you know, they're shooting over your shoulder. And maybe it's not a big action thing, but maybe they sent them home for the day and they're shooting onto, you know, a scene, and you just have, you know, the side of your head and your shoulders, or you're walking and it's your feet or your hands. And so all that stuff matters when you're becoming this character, because you're not supposed to walk like Renae, you're supposed to walk like Jennifer or Margot. And it really does happen a lot. And the more you can be versatile in that, the more they want to use you, and the easier it is to be like, oh, well, you know, Margot's in makeup or whatever. I was like, oh, just use her name.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm running out of time with you, and I have like another 7 questions, so I'm going to fly through this. When I was growing up, for me, my favorite protagonists were people like Ripley from Aliens, Sarah Connor, and I mean, even if we look at someone like Buffy, I used to love Buffy. And my favorite protagonists were always strong women. Who were some of the strong women that you look up to and that you admired as a stunt woman?
So growing up, I would definitely say Tomb Raider. Angelina Jolie in Tomb Raider was huge for me. Like, she was the coolest, right? Plus, she did a lot of gymnastics type stuff in some of her action. Actually, her stunt double used to be a gymnast, and that's probably why.
Wow.
But yeah, Tomb Raider, Angelina Jolie, big fan. Also, G.I. Jane, very cool. One of my friends, Joanna, she actually, one summer we did gymnastics together, and she tried to convince me that we should shave our heads to be like G.I. Jane. And it was also a really hot summer, and I considered it, but I didn't do it. So
okay. I think you'd rock a shaved head, personally, and it's definitely something that people have been doing while they've been in lockdown, in isolation. They've gone, hey, let's shave our heads. So before I do let you go, Renae, how have you been staying sane and healthy while in this lockdown period?
You know, I knew you were going to ask me some kind of question like this. So I went back through my phone, through my photos and my videos, because I was like, man, it really doesn't seem like I've done a lot during quarantine, but I have. I'm kind of one of those people where I'm really not going to ever let myself get to the point where I'm just like watching paint dry on a wall. Like, I keep myself pretty busy. So kind of experimenting with different kinds of workouts, anything from my sister's Action Star workout program with Fierce Lotus to PGAF, which is a agility, like basketball agility program. We also, we moved into a new house, and we have hills all around us. So just like lots of hill runs, hill sprints, lots of family time, arts and crafts. We discovered this thing called paint by numbers.
Oh no.
Me and my niece just got really obsessed with that. And also too, you know what? Normally don't really watch TV that much. Kind of always on the go. But we were like, hey, like let's take advantage of this. Let's watch some shows and some movies. So really dove deep into some deep web Netflix.
Yeah. To be honest, there's been a lot of Gilmore Girls at my house. Not something I would have chosen to go down, but that's where we're at.
Oh, also one more thing. For a while now, I've really wanted to get involved with like kind of adolescent girl groups. It's been really challenging for me because of my work schedule and how much I travel. And I always there was always like a kink. Like I'd find a program, but they'd be like, yeah, come visit us. And we're like, yeah, I can't. So actually through Zoom and all these different kind of avenues, I've been able to work with some of those programs. Like Z Girls and Girl Scouts and some of my club gymnastics team. And that's been really, really great because it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time.
Oh, that's awesome news. Well, Renae, unfortunately, I'm going to have to let you go. But I tell you what, it was an absolute pleasure talking films, explosions, smashed glass, and stunts with you. This has been Build in Isolation. Renae, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Pleasure's all mine.